Здравствуйте, товарищи, and welcome back to another episode of our glorious Workers and Resources Soviet Republic Let's Play. Yet another beautiful day lies ahead of our beautiful nation as we continue to make progress, folks, across the river on both sides as we continue to look to the future. Just want to mention, as always, folks, if you've been enjoying this series, if you would like it to have a beautiful future, please don't hesitate to keep letting me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. That's all I have to say as far as an intro is concerned. Let's go ahead and get this party started. I am very excited for just the future, really, with this series and how things have gone on for the last little while and how things look to be going for the next little while as well. Again, we have a couple of struggles cropping up. Sorry, but we have some. Okay, I legitimately did not mean to pan over to our crops as I said cropping up. That was 100% unintentional. I think I might have a problem. But yes, we have many problems cropping up, from the supply of food to proper health care. Employment is, or rather I should say unemployment is, I mean, at the moment, looking like it's been tackled, but you can see already it's trending upward once more or less immediately. There's all kinds of issues, and our population is dropping as well. So we've got some troubles, folks. We've got some struggles, and I'll be honest with you, to me, that's when a game is at its best, is when it's actually challenging me in more ways than just, semaphore management. I enjoy that in some ways as well. Blame the, gaming masochist in me for that. But I do also enjoy when these kinds of systems actually start, sort of coming through and presenting some struggles, some challenges. Last session, I feel like we made some good moves, at least in the production and hopefully also provision of food, not just food, but also electronics. Down over here, we have the electronics assembly hall, producing electronics, and now we have the distribution office. Which distribution office was it? Now, it was one of these down over here, right? That is picking up electronics from over here and distributing them to the various, shopping malls and stuff like that. The issue that we still have in the area, though, is food. And it has been pointed out to me that the road cargo station and distribution offices don't really work wonderfully together. And that's a bit of a problem, obviously. Now, they've worked fine so far, or they've worked, I should say, perhaps well enough so far, but it could be a problem of scale. As things have scaled up, the issues, the cracks have grown bigger as well, and so now that's kind of coming through. The reason being provided is that the road cargo station does not cleanly communicate the required amount of resources on the, sort of the other end of the connection. And so that's where a couple of issues come up. Now, we are able to see resources that are available from a place, but perhaps there's a sort of crossed wires with regards to delivering food or delivering stuff to a place. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's, again, sort of advice and a heads up I was given from the comments, so I appreciate that. We'll keep an eye out for if this continues to be a problem, and if it does, then we might switch gears and instead of delivering stuff to a road cargo station, we're delivering stuff more and more to a warehouse directly. So that is something I'll keep my eyes peeled for, I suppose. But the lack of food, this is a bit of a problem. There's a lack of electronics here as well. What I'm hoping is that the lack of food will soon be solved as there's more food to be picked up. I think a reason why clothes were prioritized is because there was actually not enough food stored over here. But now that we've sorted this out, I'm hoping it's sort of like a domino effect, right? It's like, now that we've solved, it's a cascade. Now that we've hopefully solved this, that'll hopefully solve this, and that'll hopefully solve, well, this, and hopefully everything else as well. But that's not all that needs solving. There's plenty of other stuff that needs solving too. So let's go ahead and hit play, because I think we're safe to do that. And I just want to touch on one thing really quickly. It was pointed out to me that I might have some alternative solutions for getting concrete from this plant onto a chopper. One suggestion was to use forklifts. Another was that I need to maybe have the new version of the concrete plant, because it has been updated ever since, I think it's called dry bulk, right? It's another kind of, dry bulk. Ever since dry bulk was introduced, the concrete plant got a bit of an upgrade as well. I did some testing. None of it worked, and I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's because I'm continuing an old playthrough, but I don't think so. Now, again, it's totally possible that I'm misunderstanding these suggestions, but I don't think I am. But no, I tried a forklift connection. Again, between sessions, I do experiment with some things that I feel like would bore people to watch. I think fiddling with such a dense area would certainly be boring, only to find out none of it worked. So I haven't included any of that, but no, it does not work. Forklift facilities with forklifts bringing stuff over didn't seem to work, and neither did upgrading the actual concrete plant itself. Also, didn't seem to work. So not sure what's going on over there, but hey, it's not the end of the world. We do have trucks slowly trucking stuff over, and in fact, I think we're ready to get. Oh, look at this rain though. Is this like the heaviest it's ever been? That mist, it's so beautiful. So I love it. Sorry, I just got completely distracted there by the visuals. We do have like a decent bit of progress being made over here, which is I would say that's, you know, that's good. It's not bad. It's not bad. But with the addition of some of these other construction offices now, I think to the nuclear city and the nuclear facilities, I think we'll make even more progress even faster. Because these guys, they are still largely focused down over here, and a little bit up over here at Brickstonia as well for this TV station. But what I'm going to do is, I think now is about the time to get them involved up over here as well. Because it's, again, different materials need delivering to different places. We might as well work on everything all together all at once, right? Like, while everything needed the same resources, that's a different story. That's, you know, that's a different topic of conversation. Why are these all different colors? That's weird. Weird in that it's unusual, not weird as in I don't like it, but I have a road connection. Go ahead and hook you up, buddy. There we go. But yeah, so my point being is, like, now that we aren't all relying on the same resources across the board at the same time, we can go ahead and get the other construction offices involved as well. So that's Zavodsk's huge construction office, and if I'm not mistaken, we have the smaller construction office here as well. In fact, we have two smaller construction offices that can get involved as well. And again, because we've hooked up this bridge and this road over here, it won't be the fastest, but at least, you know, it'll make some progress. The reason why I'm not upgrading this to asphalt, maybe I should. That's not how it's gonna stay. I don't think. At least I don't think that's how it's gonna stay. So that's why I'm a little hesitant to upgrade this right now. Even though, yeah, we have the money, I can just kind of throw money at this problem and it'll speed things up. And you know what? Maybe, okay, I think I will do that. I can read the comments right now. It's like, Party, just do it. You have the money, and then you can undo it later. And you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So I will upgrade those roads. I'll make them at least gravel roads, so we're not dealing with the worst possible speed. Oh, that's the tunnel, right? All right, cool. So again, just getting these facilities done first, and then we'll focus on this stuff afterwards. And what I might want to do is, yeah, make some connections. I'm actually I've got a couple things planned for today's session. I really hope that I am able to at least get started on some of the bigger ones. It will be a significant challenge. I'm not sure if it'll work, but that's kind of part of the fun. We're gonna find out together, and I'd be curious to hear your suggestions on it. I don't know if it'll work 100% because of the terrain that I'm going to be sort of navigating and dealing with. But it might be. Oh, it'll be interesting if nothing else. But before we get into that, I just want to check a couple more things over here. One comment that, well, I say one, but it's actually a few comments that resonated with me were about the same topic, kind of, and that is that I need more roads. I need more roads. I need more stops. I need more ways of getting places. And I'm just not doing that enough. I've got the same roads being overutilized, and that's forcing people to that's forcing, you know, buses and stuff to slow down. It's forcing a lot of issues. And I think if I do add some more paths, that will be quite helpful. Just double checking all of my existing bus stops to make sure that I'm using them appropriately, because yeah, this place has gotten. I do recall setting up the pickup and drop off of passengers from over here to bring them to a more central location so they can go shopping and stuff. And I just want to make sure everything is properly assigned over here, because I'm a little concerned. Okay, over here. Wonder if I have too many passengers being allowed to wait over here. Well, we're not picking anybody up over here. We're just dropping people off over here, so that's fine, actually. Should be, at least. Down over here, I don't, again, believe that we're picking anybody up. I do believe this is a drop-off location, so that should be okay as well. And just verifying. Now, this is a problem. This is a problem. We got way too many passengers over here, blocking everything off. I don't know if I... Oh, well, it looks like I'm doing more than just picking... I wish I could see... Oh, my God. Like, I don't want to individually investigate all of these guys. Right? Like, I wish this was categorized by what they were moving around. Okay, this is an impossible task. And yes, this is a very busy bus station, but it's a very... You know, it's a very central bus station. I'm perfectly fine with this one being so busy. But... I just wish it was easier to navigate this conversation of, like, what's going on, who is being picked up here. Are passengers being picked up here? Can I imagine passengers being picked up here? Why would they be picked up here? They'd be picked up to be dropped off down over here to, in order to shop, I suppose, at this shopping mall. That makes sense, but I just don't know if I have... Interesting. Yeah, if anybody has any suggestions for a quick and clean and easy way to investigate all of these buses and see, you know, what they're actually up to, without, I mean, I could take a look at, of course, the list of vehicles. That's not going to really help me all that much. I mean, this isn't very, you know, telling. The list of lines. I could check the St. Elizburg Center if the name comes up over here. For passengers. St. Elizburg South, St. Elizburg Center. This is workers. Yeah, I don't, what about you? Workers. It's all workers, yeah. So I guess turning passengers off over here is the right call. I thought students were being picked up over here as well. Be taken to the university. If not, I mean, I could start some student lines and whatnot. Maybe not a bad idea, actually, because people out over here are not able to get to university. There's one university up there. There's this university down over here as well being built up. Could be something to consider. How is this university doing? I'm pretty sure this one's pretty packed up. Yeah. They have a few too many students waiting already. So maybe we do in fact bus some students over here where there's 1, 2, 3 forms or sources of education. That might not be a terrible idea, actually. Now again, we're relying, yes, on the same bus stop, but you know, these roads aren't used all that much, so that should be fine, right? It's one main road. You come down over to here. Drop students off, they go wherever they need to. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. That sounds okay. I do think we're going to just purchase these buses, though. I don't think we have, oh, you know what? I have the patience for this maneuver. This is not a problem. Let's go and move you both over here. And I'm going to go ahead and give you your directions right now. What are we going to do? I think we need more than just 2 buses for this. I hope I'm not overloading this main road. I mean, again, it is that. It is a main road. You know, it is a primary... like a major arterial road, or at least that's the plan. Load students with basic education, and then drop them off over here. Oops. That seems reasonable. I could pick more up over here, right? Like en route, I could go over here as well. Go ahead and load more of these students up with their basic education, and then come down this way, drop them off over here, head back and do this loop. I think that's reasonable. I will want to launch you and also copy your schedule over to, I imagine, this guy over here. Yeah, had a feeling. Trying to get away from me. There we go. Boom. So that should help a little bit, hopefully. But before I forget, because I already have, and I know I will again, go ahead and build gravel road, auto build, upgrade that entire section. Get these guys sped up. You can see we have this massive convoy now. of resources headed right over to these nuclear facilities. So hopefully that will facilitate the construction of these facilities. It's quite the sight, isn't it? These winding roads. I'm a big fan of them. I'm a big fan of them, especially as the sun sets over here. Oh, look at that off in the distance. You can see, like, just the gleaming, glittering nation. And all these resources being brought over to build its future. Oh, man. What a sight. What a sight. Yeah, so I think we're making good progress. You can see the chopper still coming through. That's all good. Okay, fantastic. Now, that's all that. Over here... with regards to, by the way, the conversation about building new roads, I feel like, or at least I hope you all will agree, I feel like we are starting to touch on that a little bit with this new overpass that we've built, right? But I do agree that that's an overpass here and there is nowhere near enough. We need to do way more than that. I feel like also, by the way, this line, we might need to turn off line spacing. Moving at 30 kilometers per hour is entirely unreasonable. Doesn't make any sense. Why have this like highway kind of a thing if you're going to do that? Is that really what's necessary to maintain pace over here? Let's turn line spacing off. And you'll see it will immediately pick up the pace. No longer held back by its need to kind of keep a distance. Yeah, 60 kilometers. Let's move at max speed, please. I feel like that's reasonable. Lots of food up over here. Good. Do we have... no meat. Livestock is being provided. Is it because the meat's being picked up? What's going on over here? What is going on over here? Let's see. No resources, missing livestock. Why are you missing livestock? Are you just not producing it quickly enough? We've got plenty of crops. We've got basically a full batch of workers. That's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder if this will help. If I pause you momentarily, let this load up a little bit, and then begin the processing of livestock again. Kind of like kick things off with a bit of momentum, and see where that takes us. And that should help with hopefully unemployment as well, right? When we have all this operating at full kind of capacity, hopefully it'll help maintain people's jobs from wherever they're coming from. And there's quite a few places they're coming from, in fact, to do this work. I'm gonna wait until this hits 2, and then we can move on from here. You have another bus? We do have another bus. Let's go ahead and move you over to here, buddy. All right, good stuff, good stuff. Almost at 2, and then we're gonna move on to some of the challenging stuff I was touching on. Let's go ahead and max you out. A lot of workers were just kind of sitting in the lobby or something. Yeah, it's... Wow, it really eats up the livestock extremely quickly, doesn't it? Huh. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and jumpstart the system a little bit. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and buy a manual purchase, a one-time manual purchase of, let's say, nearly 7.5 tons of livestock. Pay for that. Oh my god, it is instantaneous. Okay, we need to do better on that front then. That would be challenging. Because I'd have to establish another livestock farm, establish another connection to crops for it, and then hook it up to the slaughterhouse. Yikes, I don't know if I can keep up with that. Might have to import meat from elsewhere. This is a bit too that might be a little bit too difficult to keep up with. Let's keep an eye on a couple things down over here. Still no food, eh? I thought food was headed over. It is headed over. Where you at? Come on. Making your way over. Alright. So, that kind of transitions me. This, like, slow crawl over kind of transitions me into my next topic of conversation. And there are two. The first one I think I'm going to tackle has to do with these, well, these. I need to... Let's take care of this now, shall we? We're going to have a train that brings all those cars all the way up to here to drop them off at this harbor over here. And then we're going to have a ship that takes them out for export. I'm not in a rush for that ship itself, but I want to get this train coming through So we at least have that aspect of it moving finally, because it's all these cars have been sitting there collecting dust for a very long time. As I double check my semaphores down over here, looks like things are okay right now. But yeah, these things have just been collecting dust, and it's kind of ridiculous. These people are coming down over here, you know, just resting on their laurels, sitting and doing absolutely nothing all day, every day. And oh my god, this population thing is a problem. Oh, that's a huge drop, man. That's a huge drop. In about 20 minutes, we've already seen it drop by 300. Okay, hold on. Before I get into that. Well, food is starting to arrive over here, so at least there's that. Living with your parents. Let's go ahead and scoop up from over here. Because what I can do is relocate anybody. What I can do is I can go ahead and empty this building out a little bit. I think one of the reasons people are leaving is they have nowhere to stay. When they reach the age of, I believe it was 30, if they have nowhere to move, they leave. And I do think that's a big part of it. So I'm hoping that by emptying this out, we'll see some of this stuff empty out. It's a weird... Moving is a weird thing, because people will not get onto... I've been told they will not get onto a bus in order to move. And that is a... that is troubling. This is the only way, from my understanding, to like force people to move. And this is definitely the problem. I think I'm already reaching a point where I need more housing. Oh my god, 350 isn't unable to get food. Okay, maybe it's not just the housing that's the problem. Where are you going for food? They should be getting onto these buses to come up over here where there is, yes, no food. Is there food up over here? Minimal. Right. Look, we're going to solve that next time, okay? Because that's a big undertaking, and I already have undertakings in mind for today. We'll solve that next time. We will once and for all solve the food problem. I mean, what I can do, temporarily at least, so people aren't literally starving, is I can import food at this warehouse. What I could do even further... You know what? Here, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and clear this. Clear this as well. Let's drive on over to Baraharad, where you will load up on food. Yep. And you will drive on over to... Where are you coming from? Over there. Down this way. Up this way. Sure. Over here, where you will unload the very same food. I'm going to copy that over. You. Get you both started. Let's go. See, food isn't a problem at the old city. Vecherinkagrad is fine, but the new city is significantly larger and significantly more dense. And it's time to start buying some food. And I might even look to buy even more food, actually, in order to tackle this situation. Because it is a situation. And that's, you know what, that's quick enough. We'll delve into it more next time. So, trains. Do I want to make my own train for this? It would be a fun thing to try and do, but there's this entire track section. Let's just go ahead and buy a train. Let's keep it simple for now. Let's go ahead and buy ourselves a new train up over here. I forgot about this thing. Let's go ahead and buy, alright, an electric locomotive, first of all. I do have, I did get some new train sets based on recommendations I got from all of you in the comments. These, by the way, all these modded train sets and stuff, they're also in the mod list. And that mod list is also in, it is still in the Discord, so if you're not in the Discord, join that Discord. Check out the Workers and Resources channel, and you'll find the mod list link there. But yeah, there's some cool train sets over here. None of them for what we need right now. These are all passenger train sets, but definitely something to look into when we add more trains, more lines down the line. But now, electric locomotive. I'm thinking we stick with the same locomotive so we have similar speeds and we're not like bumping into each other. That makes logical sense, right? Until it's time to upgrade. So what are we up to over here? Surely there's a train. Of course, not where I'm all the way down over here. There we go. These guys don't go all the way. Look at one of these fuel guys. CHS2T. What I thought. 160 kilometers per hour. It's not bad. I think it's in fact the fastest we have. Engine power is decent as well. 5100 kilowatts. Yeah, looks good. Okay, cool. So we're just gonna start with one over here, not to try and avoid clogging the space up too much right off the bat. Where am I? There we go. Let's go ahead and get one of you. And I do believe it's going to be an open car. Open car? No, it's going to be not an open car, but it's going to be a open wagon. There we go. 4 vehicles. Unload vehicles. 79 tons is probably what I'm going to go for. Sure. So let's go ahead and get. I mean, I don't know how much tonnage converts, right? I don't know what the numbers are. So let's start with 3. I think is reasonable. Keep a reasonable length. It's going to be smaller than some of the other trains, and that's fine. But let's go ahead and get you, buddy. Starting all the way down here, loading vehicles. Go all the way right back up to over here, where you'll unload the very same vehicles. Go ahead and hit start, and I'm going to, of course, watch Buddy in action, because you never know where there are going to be issues, and it's always fun to go on the maiden voyage with a vehicle of whatever kind, right? We're going to give this a watch, enjoy the sights, make sure everything's running smoothly, because this is a little different than our usual, and this is one of the busiest lines, actually, one of the busiest sets of tracks in our entire nation. It's also one of the longest, if I'm not mistaken. It almost certainly is. So I just want to make sure everything's working smoothly and everything's going okay. And then we're going to deal with the other thing I was talking about previously that is, again, a bit more challenging. So let me know, by the way, because when I dive into it, I am very curious with regards to what people think about what I'm planning on getting up to. So let me know what you think, let me know what you feel, because again, and as always, folks, I do read all the comments. I know, especially for the last couple of sessions, I haven't necessarily been able to respond to all of the comments, but do rest assured that I am still reading all of them. Typically, my approach is I read the comments as they come through, and then when I sit down to actually record a session, I do a second read through, which is when I sort of do my note taking. A lot of the stuff sticks in my mind, but sometimes things slip my mind, which is why I do that second read through. But it's also why, I still keep in mind all the things that are being said in the comments. If I don't do a second read through before a session, I'll do that second read through after the session. So it's all still kind of kept in mind and taken into consideration. So please don't hesitate to keep letting me know your thoughts, your feelings, your opinions, so that I can keep kind of using that as as feedback, so I can improve this series and continue to make progress. I've received some comments with regards to the pace at which I build, and that I totally understand. Sometimes maybe I go a little bit too slow. Totally understandable. It kind of comes with the territory, at least for me, sort of explaining what I'm doing while I'm doing it. It does slow me down and stuff like that. Not making excuses, just kind of giving an explanation. But feedback like that really does help me kind of try and figure out what I can try and do within my own, personal limits. I am not flawless, of course. As we look at a train, make its way through the nation, I can talk about how I am not flawless, as we all very well know. So I'm always looking for ways to improve, and I will try my best, of course, to improve in all the ways I can. Though understand if some things are maybe beyond me, but yeah. So keep the comments coming. Keep letting me know what you think about my approach, my pacing, my the tasks that I'm taking on, how I'm going about them. Again, for example, we've left this particular task hanging for a very long time, and it wasn't brought up. Nobody mentioned it, but I felt like it's been sitting here for so long, and I wanted to get it done. Well, what do you think about that? With regards to the nuclear city and how we're approaching that, let me know what you think about that. Some of you were calling for us to just pay for all of it, but many of you were saying otherwise. And again, like I said, take all this stuff into consideration. It looks like we're smooth over here, by the way. Looks like things are going pretty smoothly. We haven't seen any blockages yet. These trains are all, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. That was actually a lot smoother than I'd anticipated. I was ready to get interrupted by a blockage or a stoppage throughout that entire conversation. But things are moving okay over here. We got, things are stopping, obviously. Trains are stopping, but as they should. And it looks like the gaps and stuff are all decently placed, between the semaphores, so that, when a train is going through a section, it's the other trains that would otherwise use that section are stopping, but not for a ridiculously long amount of time or anything like that. So that's all promising. That's all good. But yeah, cool. Looks like we're actually going to be shipping our first shipment of cars over to the over to the docks, at least. We're training our cars over to the dock. We'll talk about shipping them later. Again, I'm not in a rush to make that money, but I was in a rush to get this line set up to make sure there wouldn't be any issues, and it seems to be the case that there are no issues. And this is a really long line, though, isn't it? This is a really long line. It's kind of cool. It is a massive bit of infrastructure. again, anything that plays up the scale of this game for me is particularly fun to try and execute and try and do, because that's one of the big things that this game has going for it, is its sense of scale. Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Why are we stuck here? Moment of truth. Come all this way to stop over here. What are we up to? What are we up to? Is it because of this guy? I didn't set the semaphores up over here, right? So that must be it. Yeah. I vaguely remember being like, yeah, we'll deal with these semaphores later. So that's where we are right now. This is that later. Because you are looking at this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put down. Let's pause for a second here. Go ahead and put down. Do I want these to be two ways? They've been so far, and it hasn't caused us any issues. So maybe let's keep them two ways. But then we'll need to go with mixed semaphores. We'll need to go and make this like so, right? Because it's heading into a junction. And up over here, we have this crossing. And these will need to be lanes as well. Well, I wonder if... Actually, that should be fine. What I will need to do, though, is another set of semaphores over here. Like, this is one block, right? And I think we can... Oh, you know what? We'll have to do mixed over here as well. Like so. There we go. That should do the trick. Wonderful. And this is why we stay to the end. I remember also thinking, yeah, we'll save these semaphores for later. We don't need to deal with this yet. And like I was saying, this is that later. So now we should be all clear, because now a train will stop based on the occupation of that junction. Hopefully they'll make the appropriate movement decisions, you know, when the time comes. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Looking okay, looking okay. You're gonna come through on this right side, so we're gonna stay straight on this path. Yep. Around this bend. Up and over here. Wow, to even see this out over here, you know? It looks like we are, in fact, offloading the cars. I thought I saw some get dropped off. Yeah, beautiful. That's, you know, that's... It might seem like a small thing, but it's finally, we're one step closer to capping this project off. You know, this, the sale of vehicles. I know I said I'd save it until later, but why don't we just do it right now? Why don't we go ahead and start selling some of these cars? And maybe we'll actually hit that 200 million ruble before episode 200 mark that we were thinking about. So cargo harbor. No, why don't we go ahead and pumping harbor? Can we? Do we have a? We don't. Do we? We do not. All right. So I got to buy the ship up over here. Fair enough. At the dock, go ahead and purchase ourselves what will actually move one of these. Cargo ship, of course. Not a tanker, of course, or a hopper ship. Gonna have to be the river cargo ship, which is very tremendously slow. 5 knots is nothing. That was 9. 14 knots is the way to go, I think. Between 14 and 12. The price difference is, honestly, like, we'll make that money back in no time. Can I actually see? I can't, eh? I kind of wish I checked when the train was making its way over. I wish I checked what the value of all the goods were. We'll keep an eye out for it, but let's go ahead and, yeah, let's get the free... I was just curious how quickly we'd make that money back. So, you know, 6 million rubles. Let's see how much one train load of cars is worth. But let's go ahead and scoop you up. Go ahead and go over here first. Load vehicles. And then head on out to our Soviet comrades and where you will unload whatever you're carrying. Yeah, sure. Start you off. Good. I can't believe we're actually doing this. Yeah, you're on your way. A lot of firsts today. A lot of firsts. It's so wild how, like, boats weren't a thing in this game when we first started playing it. It wasn't a thing. It just wasn't a thing. It's just, they weren't real. Are those trains building away off in the distance there? That's something. I think you're probably good, right? We've done this 100 times. We've done this strip 100 times. I just want to see its launch. But down over here, where is our train? He's going to arrive any second now, so I just wanted to check this and then we'll move on. This is almost done-ish. Missing some gravel, fair enough. These parking lots are completed though. I'm guessing a lot of people are driving down to work over here. My assumption. Fair enough. Fine over here still. These things are still being built. We are missing some steel. It's a problem. We touched on that last session. I do wonder what I should consider with regards to that, because we are dropping steel off over here, right? I wonder if I should use this as a pickup point as well for some of these construction offices, or if I should, like, you know, ship it from over here up to there. It's starting to be a little concerning. Again, we're very heavily using these construction materials across the board, right? That same steel is being used to build our new city and new facilities. So I'm not, like, let's be realistic about our expectations, right? That is why we're running low on steel, and not just steel, but, you know, on everything. I just want to be reasonable about my expectations, and my concerns, and all that kind of stuff. All right, you're loaded up. So one load of cars is just under 500,000 rubles. Okay, so 500,000 rubles means in 2 we make 1. My math is going to be terrible here. This is a late night of recording. If 2 train loads is 1 million, and we need 6 million, give or take, that means 12 train loads is 6 million rubles, give or take. Again, because it's not exactly 500,000. All right, that's not too bad. We'll make our money back in no time. It's a viable investment. The question is actually though, how many vehicles can this guy pick up? 1,750 tons. Okay, well, let's keep an eye on this. Make sure it's all working up over there. And now, the big kind of challenging aspect that I was touching on earlier. Hold on, let me quickly check. Man, this is worrying me. Oh, look at the unemployment though. That's nice. How's food doing up over here? Up over here. Hoping that food is getting purchased and delivered. Maybe I need more trucks for this job over here, which would be an understandable thing. We are certainly not seeing a surplus of food over here. There you are. Nope, not what I'm looking for. Jeez, so many vehicles. Okay, let's take a look here. And you're stuck back over here. Traveling slowly, why? Going up this way as opposed to down that way, okay. Again, this is the congestion, right? Too many vehicles on the same road. Okay, so that's slowing us down, obviously. Fair enough. You look like you're gonna be picking up fuel first. No, you're actually gonna come over here and pick up some vehicles first. Let's keep an eye on this. And it looks like 2. Okay, so it looks like 2 train loads made it through. Well, this is a little bit of a disingenuous calculation, because this boat will take a lot longer to come back from the Soviet nations. By the time it comes back, there will probably be more than 6 million rubles worth of cars over here. So, again, more than a worthwhile investment, of course. Just a matter of how long does that investment, how long does it take for that investment to become worthwhile? Not very long is my assumption here. So you're gonna come on, hop in. I think he's moving so slow because of the, well, he is docking right now, but also the fuel is very low, so he's gonna have to stop for fuel soon. But I just want to make sure this is loading properly through that factory connection. Could be. However, moment of truth. You're complaining about fuel after you reach here. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and... let's see. We're loading down over there. I could get a pipe. Alright, looks like the game took an issue with the fuel problem over here as well, because it decided to crash on me. But hey, not the end of the world. We didn't lose too much or anything, so that's fine. What was I doing? I was going to go ahead and get the pipe pumping station down over here, right? Headed that way. Headed into this thing, right? Because this is where it all gets picked up. Let's just double check to be 100% certain. And remove you. Check the pipe pumping. Yes, that is exactly what we're looking to do. So, well, how do we do this? We gotta go ahead and get rid of you. We gotta make sure that you are... Nope, you're not the right thing. You're not the right thing. But that's fine. We have to get rid of that anyway, probably. Didn't. But listen, it's not the end of the world. It's not that expensive. You are fuel, right? Yes, you are. You're fuel. So, let's go ahead and demolish... you. Get the pumping happening in this general direction. This is strange. Is this not the out? Yeah, it's the out. Okay. Position you like that, I think. The road will be fine. So if I pop you down like this, we'll auto-build this stuff. I just want to plan it out first, though. I'll raise you up. Out. Yeah, there we go. Oh. There we go. Nice. Lift you up over this way. Around the bend. Oh, cool. You will connect over here. Right, that kind of a thing. You will go up. Over. And around like so. Yeah, there we go. Cool. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Exactly how I had envisioned it. No problems whatsoever. Everything's perfectly fine. Gotta love it. Cool. Go ahead and move you. Of course, now this is going to be... Come on. Go. There we go. Hook you up over here like... Okay. Alright, no, we're fine. We're fine. Get rid of some of these guys. Okay. We're still fine. We're still fine. It's not the end of the world. Go ahead and... Go. Yeah. Beauty. Oh, what? Why is that even doing that? There we go. Cool. So that should work. Go ahead and pay for all of this. Thank you. Go ahead and pay for you as well. Hit play. Get all this done, and that should start pumping fuel over here, hopefully, unless this is a different kind of... Yeah, beauty. Okay, cool. Alright, so that should work. Now I do wonder, actually, we need power over here. Or do we need power over here? You have power, so I would assume that this guy needs power as well. You know, it's like you go to do one small thing, and it ends up taking all the time in the world. Story of my life. I could get a switch over here to hook this up. Go ahead and pop you down. Oh. Sure. Go ahead and... If you watch, I don't even need power over here, but hey, we're going to get it anyway. We're going to get it anyway. Could get a switch. Sorry, get a switch. Man, I like this position. I gotta break it. Down like this. Sure, like something like that, I suppose. Hey. You. This guy up like that. Pull you over. This is safe. Fuel and electricity next to each other. 100% safe. Don't worry about it. Pay for all that. And pay for you. Cool. You should have power now. Yeah, excellent. That fuel filled up like right away. Let's double time this so we can actually see if this ship works, and then we can move on to other things. Did enough progress so far. I think assigning all those construction offices definitely helped out. Getting this thing's going to help out with making money faster. And hopefully the import of food is going to help a little bit as well, though I do think I need to increase the pace on that. I think we need, like, a lot more than what we're doing. Okay, are you... There we go. Okay, beautiful. Cool, this works. Confirmation. Moving on. All right, so first order of business is to get you producing not buses. After this bus is done, let's go ahead and select the KMZ 5410 covered so we can start importing food, because that's the reality of our situation. We've grown past that kind of self-sustainability. The question is now, okay, so the big challenging thing that I kept kind of like talking about, and that I'll be honest, a little bit nervous about trying to execute, is an actual proper highway. I don't know how well it would work, and I kind of wish there was like a planning mode in this game so you could like, you know, plan as opposed to just lay stuff down and see if it works and pray it works. But that doesn't exist. See, what I'd like to do is have it would need waypoints and stuff, I think, to actually force trucks to use it, and I'm hoping that it would sort of provide the path of least resistance in at least some cases, so that trucks and stuff will use it. But for example, you know, up over here, could I build something like this? Sounds kind of silly because it's such a short distance, but could I build something that would allow people to drive over to here very quickly, right? Could I build something that would allow people to get onto the highway over here and get off like over here very quickly? These are the questions I was asking myself before I loaded into the save, and now that I'm looking at the answers, I feel like the answers are yelling back, no, you can't, Party. These are not options. If we building on ramps and off ramps in a mountain range is not typically how this is done. My first consideration was up over here, was building the kind of like a system up over here to get people up, and then connected across the board. We could start sort of planning that and seeing how the planning goes, and then you know, moving forward from there. The thing about highways in this game is that because you cannot have an intersection between bridges. Anytime there is at least from my understanding, anytime there is on and off ramps and things like that, anytime there's an intersection, you're gonna have some kind of funky business going down. But let's go ahead and plan this out. Kind of weird that the highway doesn't continue on this bridge. We could do that. We could modify how our bridge connections are made. We could absolutely do that. But I feel like maybe later. Yeah. All right. Now again, the other option is just make a straight road down over here, and connect it. Then you hook it up straight to this. Why am I making a highway? Man, just to make things even harder for myself. So the one-ways would stop, let's say, roughly around here. You kind of get off the... Oh man, not being super familiar with this kind of stuff is going to show here. So let's see. I kind of feel like this should be two separate lanes. If I hook you up... I really wish you could curve without needing to start like a straight placement. But no, you can't do that. Let's see. Something like that. Wish. Guess I could do this to like kind of guide me. Wireframe. Want that down over here, roughly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 7. Okay. Like that. I don't know if these systems will actually help make any of this line up nicely, but hey, we can try. Alright, so if I do that, like that, right. Might need to reassess the actual viability of this option. Oh man, you know what? I might need to back away from this right now and really kind of sketch this out first, because it's gonna get messy. And I wanted to bring this up today because I wanted to open it up to the floor with regards to building these well, hopefully hyper efficient lanes of travel. And what was originally the driving force was I wanted to make sure my construction offices over at Savotsk were able to make their way over to what is currently called Modred without too much issue. You know, they were able to like cut through all the traffic, and they didn't have to go up and around and down and over, basically backtracking, and they could instead kind of like come up this way, head on over, hop on this way, and be at Modred. Again, that's its current name. But I just don't like. I had a bunch of reference images and stuff, and I was like, yeah, okay, I think I know how I would execute this in the game. And now that I'm sitting down and doing it, I'm just like, you know what? I'm not sure I do. I'm not sure I am confident in the ability to make this work, because basically you need, like, if we look at this as an example, right? If we're going to do an intersection over here, how would I even... That's where it gets funny, right? Because I can't connect. Right? It's not a thing these guys do. I'd have to get rid of an entire section first of all, which is already a pain. And I would need to put down... Let's just experiment here a little bit. This is definitely a bit of experimentation, live experimentation. Well, also construction. Well, yes, I know, but we should be able to tuck under this. It was just being complaining. So nudge you up a bit. There we go. So if I were to do this kind of thing, and again, it's very close to that attracts, right? So this might not even work. It's really kind of tight, isn't it? I wonder if I have to demolish this before I even start putting this down. The other thing I might just do is like kind of do this between sessions, and then come in with the results and be like, yeah, that worked perfectly, or wow, it didn't work at all, and I'm glad we didn't try and execute it. But I know this is possible. In theory, it is 100% possible. It's a matter of actually executing it and having the bridges and stuff actually, you know, work. Oh, turn the snapping off, I guess. Kind of ironic. There we go. Okay, well, just a matter of turning the snapping off. My apologies, folks. Go ahead and nudge over a bit further away from the tracks and stuff. This probably won't work. I think this is maybe a bit too tight. This though. Okay. Go up this way. Come on, baby. Okay, sure. Need. And there we go. All right, cool. So like, okay, so what was I getting at? If we have this kind of a thing, right? And so you go out, you straight out, and these are both... Oh, the snapping really asks for a bit of a distance, doesn't it? Connect into it. Come on. Fine. I guess I'll... Fair enough. That's okay. I don't mind if we have to like kind of like clump up when we go underneath an overpass. That's fine. That's actually... I'm legitimately okay with that. So if I... Why don't we like nudge you out then, if it's gonna have to, right? Nudge you out a bit. If we can make it look a bit neater that way. And then pull straight over this way. Hoping that I can, you know, kind of make it match, right? So if these are both one ways, right? One way and a one way. We're gonna of course need a second bridge over here, right? To go over top. How would I go ahead and get that going over here? Wonder if demolish you. Can I? I can't believe I'm even doing as much as I'm doing right now. I was so sure this would I would just be like, oh no, you know, I'm gonna not do this because it's too much, and it might well be too much, but you know, here we are, we're trying it, right? And this is why I was saying, folks, I would love to know your opinion on me doing this, because I 100% understand if some of you are just like, dude, I don't need to see if the game can be pushed in this way. Personally, I'm curious, but if I get 50 comments, and they're all like, no, don't do highways. Then we won't do highways. So yeah, okay, so here's the thing, right? Presumably these are also one-ways. Like, this is a one-way up that way, this is a one-way down this way. So this guy needs to come down to this guy, but he can't, right? Because we can't connect intersections like that. So instead what we have to do is we have to, because again, we cannot have an intersection on the actual overpass section. So what we'd have to do is get rid of this guy. Well, actually, yeah, okay, we have to get rid of this guy. And then the bridge would have to come up this way. I don't even know if it's possible, but like this kind of a thing, right? And this is where it gets. This is where it gets super weird for me. Because okay, I've got this right now. This guy, and I too steep of a descent. Kidding me? Come on. Oh, I see. Okay, fair. That's a fair complaint. That's a fair complaint. I didn't realize he was off the ground. Go ahead and for you, buddy. Go. Is this actually lined up? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now it should stay hooked up to this. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So there's that. This guy should be able to pull out a bit and then hook into. Come on, make it look nice. I know you want to work. Actually, you are the infrastructure. Fine, we'll do that. That works. So one way you go up. You cannot keep going up. You have to get off and get down over here. And on the one way over here, I have to have. Like, I need to make a connection over here like this so that we can have this guy pop back up this way, and then build the bridge back up this way. Right? And then it'll continue up and over and do its thing. But my point is, right, in a regular highway, you would have, you know, this would be a separate, like, it would be a separate lane that goes to the off-ramp, and you get off the highway. You don't get off the highway just to get back off on the highway on that very same, like, intersection, right? Like, this is where the problem lies. Now, there might be some better solutions out there, maybe using some mods, but I wasn't able to find anything. If anybody knows of any, then please feel free to let me know, because I would like to try and do this. Now, like, again, there are different kinds of overpasses and different kinds of, like, layouts, and, you know, you've got really fancy, like, clover designs and all that kind of crazy stuff, but it all boils down to we can't have proper on and off ramps, and without proper on and off ramps, I don't know how you can avoid this. But like I said, I mean, if you have any ideas, I would happily take them on. But you know, set that aside. The idea would be that this thing is hideously not a straight connection, and I'm okay with that, because I've told you guys I make myself okay with that. So here I am being okay with this. I'm going to go ahead and raise this guy up. So this is what we kind of need. Is okay. What I need to figure out actually is the height of this guy. Do we have a height? We don't have a height. It'd be really nice to have a height. We do that, it drops to this. So how could I? Yes. I guess that kind of snaps and keeps it remembered, looks like. I should be able to do this kind of a thing? No, that kind of a thing. Be able to do the opposite though, where I do this, drag it out, and it remembers the height. Okay. Now it's steep on this side. Okay, that does make sense. What? Okay, why'd you do this? Again, that height reference. All right. Pull you out. Pull you out. There we go. Hook you up. Hook you up. Again, a little funky, but not the end of the world. Okay, guys, it's becoming a bit too much. Hook you up. Go ahead and get the. Up, I think should do quick. That looks reasonable. And then this would continue onwards, right? Like this would go... God. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm probably gonna fix this between sessions. But this would kind of like go on and make its way to over here somehow. Let's just build a slight extension so we know what I'm talking about. We can see what I'm talking about. This would kind of go on like this. Maybe we add a little curve to it, right, to avoid this area. But yeah, basically, yeah, if you drive over, you come down over here. It's a one-way. You come down over here. You come down over here, and you hop on over here, and you keep going. And now you're one way over there. So if you're coming from down over here, right, and you want to get up over here for whatever reason, or over here for whatever reason, ideally you would go, hey, this is a clear road. There's less congestion over here because it's one ways. So you'd hop on, and again, we'd have to fix this area up as well to actually make it... See, I don't know how, I'll be honest with you, I cannot visualize in my head right now how a highway starts. I can visualize this stuff. You know, all the different, well, not all, but many of the different kinds of intersections. But I cannot, for the life of me, think about how it would start. You just kind of like lift off the ground, right? But anyway, we'd have to rework this. But the idea is like, yeah, from Zavodsk, you know, if you want to go and do some construction up over there, rather than, you know, go up this way, loop around, backtrack, and all that kind of jazz, you would go on this. And I'm hoping that down the line, the game adds a faster type of road to designate highways. And then we can actually have highways where like the speed limits are a lot higher and stuff as well. But yeah, so this would also kind of like roll out this way. Again, we'd have to clear some of these guys out, and we'd have to let the road go on before it lifts back up over this tunnel and stuff. But it should make for an interesting challenge. Also, it'll look cool. I mean, you guys get what I'm going at, right? You guys get what I'm going for, rather, right? The other option, of course, as many of you have brought up, are underground roads. Like, we can, of course, take a look at underground, like, tunnels and stuff. But do keep in mind that tunnels now they're still limited. Even though you can, like, kind of curve them and stuff now, they are still limited. If we go ahead into underground view mode, go up this way. Oop, I believe at least they're limited, because you still have to do this kind of a thing. It's not better than I anticipated. Let me try something here. Pop you down. Can I? Yeah, no, you can't do like underground intersections or anything like that. Right? Well, it was being even weirder, actually. But yeah, so underground roads, they do still have their like limitations. It's not like you can build an entire underground network of roads or anything like that. But yeah, that's the big kind of challenging thing I was mentioning earlier. And what I would do is I would have this same kind of highway loop over, and like it would connect down over here. I guess like we'd have a connection over here, but that same highway would go on down this way over to Baraharad, and perhaps even if there's room for it, like it might drop people off over here, and then you kind of like leg it up to Baraharad, or it might, and it might even continue down to like this area and go further down and hook up to Molna and stuff, which is from where we're actually going to be importing, crops and food and stuff as well via train. But then also, again, I want to maybe have this connect up over here, maybe actually make this a double bridge so it's part of the highway kind of a thing. I don't know. It's a thought that randomly crossed my mind, shortly after the end of the previous session, I think. And I thought it'd be fun, and I like it. I like the idea of it, but I'm open, of course, to other interpretations of this being fun or not fun. So, folks, I would love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear your opinions. I'm genuinely, I would like to know if this is an endeavor I should follow, or if you'd rather I not. I'll be cool either way. I want to know what you guys think, because, of course, at the end of the day, I want to make sure y'all are having fun as well. But apart from that, just a quick status report, I suppose, over here. Well, let's take a look at this first. Yeah, okay, still scary. Food looks like it has improved ever so slightly. Marginally, which is promising. Okay. Up over here, we have got some food. Okay, that is good. Food over there. No food over here. Maybe there was some previously, but not any right now. So, that is less good. Very much less good. Hopefully that'll be solved. We'll continue to import more food. I think I will tackle that right at the beginning of the next session, actually, is the importing of more food. And down over here, it looks like we are seeing some progress. These guys are a little bit on the slower side, but down over here, we're certainly seeing some movement. This thing's been completed. This thing looks like it's almost done. Yes, excellent. Looking good. Looking good. And what about our TV station down over here? Still waiting for various resources. Gravel here. Gravel. Gravel. Concrete. Gravel. Really don't have any gravel, eh? Well, we're dropping some off, but I guess it's immediately getting turned into cement, into concrete. Be scooped up for other construction projects. Maybe we are building too much at a time for our raw material gathering rate. Another thing to maybe think about how I should prioritize some of this stuff. And again, all this housing provides places for people to go. All this provides work for people to do. You know, everything has value in its own way, and our above 21 count is at least looking okay. But I think largely that's because so many people are opting not to stay. They're hitting that age of 30 and deciding it's time to go. I mean, last year, let's take a look here. That huge dip has got to be when I moved people around. Right at the end, right? Like December, end of December or something. Population, though. That's a problem. Food, you can see it like it dropped, and there's a bit of an uptick at the end there, so that's somewhat promising. I don't want to rest on my laurels there. Obviously, there are no laurels to rest on. Health seems like it is stagnating, okay. Government loyalty is dropping as well. And we continue. Religion sympathy actually went up at some point, and that's a problem. We need to try and keep that down, so I'm curious how that went up. But we need to definitely keep an eye on these things. Interesting times ahead still. Maybe me taking this on was a way of me procrastinating the needs of my people. Oh no, what have I done? What have I become? Just kidding, obviously, folks. I do want to take care of the people's needs, so I think next session we'll go ahead and solve the food thing. We'll get proper imports going at a proper scale, because that's the reality of our circumstances. We will continue to... I think we need to figure out how to accelerate some of this construction work as well, without, you know, just straight up paying for it. We've got to figure that out. And we'll continue to maybe either develop this or develop more housing and more employment opportunities for the various people of our glorious nation. Folks, I do hope you enjoyed this session. I do hope you enjoyed the experimentation and the new, lines we've established today as well. The new export of cars. That's been a long time coming, and it's finally happened. So that's exciting. Lots of new stuff going down. Hopefully, lots of old stuff will start going up, because the numbers going up. Folks, if you had a good time, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. And as always, of course, if you have any feedback, feel absolutely free to include it down below. I am always open to constructive criticism. I'm always open to opinions and considering how I can use that to shape my approach. Constructive is a key part, of course, of the phrase constructive criticism. So let me know what y'all think. Tried something a little different today. It can go either way. And I'm obviously welcome to that. If I wasn't welcome to that, then I wouldn't be doing this. Let me know down below, folks. But as always, I would like to let you know there is a huge, massive amount of gratitude that I would like to give to all of my channel members and patrons who have been continuously supporting this channel month after month, year after year. And a big old thanks, of course, as well to each and every one of you for watching. And until next time, до свидания.